So this is my 1994 Honda Del Sol. I've had it as my first car ever since I was like 16 years old. And I drove it for a few years for high school and then a few years for my undergrad, and then other than that, this car's been sitting probably like 10 years, Forrest. So I was gonna actually sell it for books. Probably about $500–600, but Ricky and Forrest convinced me that instead of getting rid of this car, we should save it and one day do a build. And the time for this build is now. So I'm introducing to you guys the Honda Del Sol all-wheel drive K-swap eventually. We'll call it the Honda Heck Sol for now, right? Because it's going to be fast as heck, boy. I'll beep it out. Yeah, you're right. We'll keep out the cussing, but I'll remove it. But it'll be fast as heck, boy. Everyone always used to make fun of the Honda Del Sol all through life, calling it the Honda Del Slow. Everyone always tried to race me. I could beat them from 0 to 15. They beat me the rest, but it doesn't matter because they stopped at 60. I went to 80. I could cut through smaller corners. I cut off school buses while they couldn't. Alright, so this car's really cool and I thought we should do a cool video on it. So what we're doing, we have to sand down the engine bay. So we're going to make this like show car ready and very beautiful before we make it fast and ruin it at the track. But to do this, we got to sand down this engine bay. So the first part of this series is just going to be us sanding this engine bay. Before getting into that, I'm going to remove all these lines. All the bumpers already removed, as you can see. I'll show you a little bit further. We're gonna get rid of all this junk and make it into a cool car. So for this build, what we're gonna do for this build is we're gonna do a K24 A2. So originally I was thinking just use an RSX engine because there's a lot of old RSXs, but I just want the 2.4. It's just a personal preference. I know it's only what 0.4 extra liters. It's some extra displacement. And I know some people are going to say, hey, why don't you get the Type R, RSX Type S with the K20A2 because it has higher RPMs. Well, I don't care. There's K24 A2s cheap at the junkyard for $400–500. We're going to get one of those, maybe rebuild it, and then get a transmission. What I'm trying to decide now is my two options for three. I got a few options. You could get some SI transmissions. You can get some... Sometimes you can get lucky because the K24 A2 comes out of the Acura TSX between I think the 04 and 08. Online and there's a lot of Acura TSXs around between the 04 and 08, and that's the engine we need, so why not buy one of those? We could get a transmission. I found one of those for $2,000 to $3,000, which would be a lot easier. But what I'm hoping for is we get the K24 A2 and then we also put on top, use a transmission from a RSX 5-speed. Just a basic one because we're probably going to blow that pretty quickly and then eventually upgrade to the 6. But I guess the whole big problem we're having right now is if we want to choose between the 6 and the 5, I guess some people say the 5-speed is better if you're going to turbo it, the 6-speed is better and all for a better ride if you're not going to turbo it, but we'll see what happens with that. But in all, hey, I think that's what we're going to do. I'll just show you some clips of this video for 5 minutes so we have something to show, and I'll put on some cool music if you guys like it. I don't know what I'm going to do wheels-wise. Oh, here's what you guys want to know. So you guys want to know how we're going to paint this. So I think I'm going to sand this down in the comments. Got all sorts of things, but I think what we're going to do is a blurple. So it's like a dark purple, or it's going to be like a dark purple with a little bit of shine. And I think we're going to do the whole car that, because I've seen a Del Sol in every color. I've seen a Del Sol in black, white, blue, red, yellow, turquoise green, samba green, silver, gunmetal. But I don't think I've really seen one in purple, so I think that'd be a cool build. And we already got started with the purple. So yeah, we got a wing on the back. I think that'd be cool too. Cool thing is we're gonna hopefully build this car. We're gonna hopefully do a lot of carbon fiber on this car. So hopefully afterwards, I tried a carbon fiber lip on here myself, but we're gonna redo this whole bumper and probably just do all this carbon fiber. And make sure we have AC. Forrest said we need to keep the AC. So, alright. That's it. Alright, so right now what we're going to do just today is we're just going to remove these brake lines and get it ready so we can start sanding and priming it and getting this engine bay ready to be painted. So yeah, let's just get into it. Gonna take this bumper off, we don't need this. So light! You don't need it? No. I thought you needed the key. You didn't tell me you had a key.
You'll want the special brake wrench for it?
Special brake wrench? I'm gonna give you guys a heads up on what we're doing over here.